Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Retro Wrestling Revival. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday night. I know we're not here on a normal Monday, but we're going to have some fun nonetheless. We're going to watch some Raw from 1997. I am the Ass Man, according to the state of New York, and my partner over there in the great state of South Carolina is Brother Martin. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic, my friend. I'm excited. We're going to do some good old-fashioned wrestling tonight, Monday Night Raw. We're back on the we're back on the path, so to speak. Like, we're back in the saddle, and we're gonna continue our Monday Night War series. And you know what, man? Things are starting to heat up right now when it comes to Monday Night Raw. We just had Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin defeat Davey Boy Smith and Owen Hart. Then we had a man that wanted the love and wanted the affection of Stone Cold Steve Austin so bad, Mick Foley, and he finally got it. So, you know what, man, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what's on the docket tonight. Brother, are you excited, man? This is for fans, by fans of Retro Wrestling Revival. And by the way, we are growing at a rapid pace, and me and John will say thank you to everybody out there. But with that said, let's get this started tonight, brother.
Sorry, I had to get a sip of my coconut water there. This delicious blend of coconut water.
Yeah,
Chris, we're going to have a good time tonight. Raw is going to be a fun time. They're starting to heat up, as you said. We got the Dude, we got Stone Cold, we got the Hart Foundation. We got a lot of fun stuff going on Monday Night Raw now. They had a dreadful spell for a while, but thank God it's gotten better. And Nitro's been kicking butt too. So we're going to have a good time tonight discussing a little bit of Monday Night Raw and going and checking out some old goodies from the old vault that is Peacock, my friend.
that is right. So, I mean, just the thing that, like, they're starting to heat up, like, they're starting to get better. And I can't wait, man. Oh, really quick before we start, I got a question for you. What is your opinion of the potential of the potential of micro brawlers doing a cross promotion with AEW?
You mean the Midget Wrestling Federation?
Yes, the Midget Federation.
And they're going to cross promote with AEW. What's my thoughts on that?
Okay, which according to Nick Housen,
okay,
there's like the possibility of them doing like a cross promotion with AEW. What do you think about that? I think that's genius.
I mean, I think most of the wrestlers there are already around that size anyway, so I think it's not going to really matter too much with the cross promotion. It's going to just be some normal bouts.
That's
So
awesome.
sorry,
That is awesome.
sorry. That's the only thing that came to my mind with that. Well, hey, whatever. I mean, I didn't see the first episode. Did you?
No. Which I think that freaking Adam Cole would fit in perfectly with them.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
I actually have AEW on in the background here. It's on mute, but I'm keeping an eye on it in case we have some amazing debuts tonight. You know, because they are at their homecoming tonight in
They are
at Daly's place. I like Daly's place. I think it's actually a cool setup.
Which I absolutely love it too. I think honestly, you know, do you think maybe Dolph Ziggler might debut?
He just debuted in New Japan, so I don't think so.
I'm just saying that in general, like
all the marks are wanting Sasha Banks. That's all that they want. They want Mercedes Moné or whatever her name is.
I think Sasha's going back to the WWE, but that's just me.
We'll see. Who knows? We talk a little modern this weekend on the radio show, but tonight's all designed for Monday Night Raw, my friend. So let's get on into some Raw. Here is the card for tonight, Chris. This should be a fun card, I think. Okay. If it sucks, we'll have a good time nonetheless, as we always do. So this is the July 21st, 1997 edition of Monday Night Raw. So it is coming from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada.
Oh,
so
dude, Nova
we're in Canada, eh?
Yay, I love it, man.
We are all marks, Jeremy, for this stuff. That's why we're watching it here and doing what we do. It's okay to be a mark, by all means. It's okay when you love something and you like to do it. It's no problem. But Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. It's got Vader with Paul Bearer taking on the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, Chris.
Oh, God. Shamrock's going to be in his zone tonight, I'm telling you.
He might. Who do you think's going to be? What's going to be tougher tonight? Ken Shamrock's striking abilities or the pungent odor coming from Vader's ring outfit?
The pungent odor from Vader's ring outfit, and which I'm thinking, what's stronger, Vader's odor or the former fearless leader that ran this country, his odor? I'm just saying, I don't know which one's worse. But anyway,
there's a lot of odors going on. Next is going to be Brian Christopher, who's one of the most popular videos on
our second most popular ever.
Yes, is Brian Christopher. He's here tonight. How fitting is that? He's taking on a very dangerous competitor, Chris, and Brian Walsh.
Oh, Brian Walsh, man, dangerous guy.
He's a scary character.
He is, man.
In 1984, Brian Walsh was voted the most dangerous man in Masonville, Iowa, Kentucky.
Oh, really? I thought that was Iowa. But
no, that's his other cousin that's over in that area. This is the Kentucky version of it.
I got you.
Then we got the Godwinns, Henry and Phineas taking on the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrash. Woo!
Woo, I love it. I can't wait.
Yes. Then, sorry. Also in that match is the new Blackjacks, Blackjack, Bradshaw, and Windham.
Yes, I can't wait.
It's going to be a barn burner, I'm sure, on this one. Is. Then we got Triple H, Hunter Hearst, Helmsley with Chyna taking on the Patriot. Might be a good match.
Yes, I can't wait for that. That's going to be fun.
Then we have Goldust with Marlena taking on Faarooq, who's got Kama Mustafa with him tonight. It's so funny because this is in 1997, and on the screen in AEW, for anybody that's watching AEW right now, Dustin Rhodes is in a match in AEW right now on Dynamite.
Oh, wow.
Pretty crazy, huh?
It is very crazy. Almost 30 years ago.
Yep. Then in the main event, it's going to be the Hart Foundation versus Dude Love Steve Austin and the Undertaker in a 6-man match. So it's going to be Bret, Owen, and the Bulldog versus the Dude versus Steve and versus Undertaker.
I think this is actually going to be a decent match. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, Jake doesn't look too good out there, Jeremy. I'm looking at him on the screen here when he was just on. He definitely does not look like he should be out there.
What is he with?
He looks like he's got a lot of issues with pain and stuff. Like he can barely move around. It's kind of sad to see.
So is he with the Murder Hawk right now?
I don't know who he's with now. I don't know what his gimmick is with. Who he's with now. I don't think he's with Murder Hawk anymore. I don't even know. I haven't watched AW enough. I wouldn't even know.
Okay. All right.
No idea. But that's the card for tonight, man. So it should be a good card tonight. What do you think?
I'm excited, brother. Let's rock and roll. Let's get this started.
All right. So if you guys want to watch along with us, head on over to Peacock. Once again, it's the July 21st, 1997 edition of Monday Night Raw. If you don't want to watch, no worries. We're just going to do it ourselves, and we'll give you a little commentary. So, Chris, you ready to roll, my friend?
Let's roll, brother. Let's do this.
All right. We're going to go in 3, 2, and 1.
All right.
We always love the intro here.
And 7
Half a
different
billion viewers, Chris.
half a billion, man. Did you believe that during this time?
Never.
Now I
Never.
do. But yeah.
Listen to this great intro about Bret Hart being so despised in the United States. Yes. Jeremy says he's with the Murder Hawk tonight.
Oh, he is? Okay, good.
Okay.
Hold on.
Boy, the fans love him in Canada, huh?
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Wow.
With that Carolina Panthers hat.
Yeah, he's a gem.
He's a jam-up guy.
He's a Halifax, Nova Scotia champion himself.
He is actually the hot dog eating champion. Anyways, what you call it? We don't hinder gender, by the way.
No, you don't hinder gender.
Because yours truly, which I just put out a wonderful tribute video to Jinder Mahal.
Will Jinder Mahal bring the views?
I honestly, I would say like a couple thousand views to that video. I'm guessing.
Your guess for Jinder is that much. All right, we'll see.
I would say 2.5.
With Chris guessing that much, it means it's going to get about 100.
Dude, well, like the honest truth is that it's either hit or miss. I mean, like the honest, which like there's no logic. Well, okay, like there's no formula behind what we do. Like with our videos, we post them, and if they hit, they hit.
We post what we think is funny.
Yes, exactly.
Or what we like.
Which like
one or the other.
Which like that Brian Christopher one is extremely divisive.
I wish Raw would bring back Across the Nation theme song. I heard the theme song for the show now, Jeremy, the other night when I turned it on last week. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like that style. It doesn't really resonate with me. But then again, you know, I'm an old school fan that's been watching Raw since the first episode.
I think it's which I think is terrible. I like the new theme.
I'm not into like rap music though, so
yeah, like the Across the Nations theme was great. This one and the original Raw theme, I like.
Yeah, I like the original Raw theme.
Oh my god,
man, look at that pyro going off here in Halifax. There ain't anybody in that audience that's ever been at battles, so they don't know what that's like.
No. I bet
that is like that's like fucking IEDs going off in your head, right behind your head, man. With those things were the loudest fireworks back in the day when they would set them off in these arenas, Chris.
Oh god, yeah, like
Kane's pyro too. Did you ever see that live?
I have not actually.
Yeah, when they would do the Kane's pyro, ooh, that would light the whole place up, and you'd feel that fire from it. I like the Papa Roach theme too, Jeremy. I thought that was a good version of it as well.
Oh yeah, that one is fantastic. What you call it? It's whenever Mr. Cody Rhodes watches these pyro displays, do you think he needs a fresh pair of underwear?
He might. Cody loves his pyro.
He does.
How much do you think they spend a year on Cody's pyro?
Honestly, I would say like at least $500,000 a year, if not more.
On Cody's pyro?
Yes, on Cody's pyro.
I'd probably say 6 figures, but I wouldn't say that much. I don't know what the cost of pyro is. That's why I'm just, maybe. You never know. I mean, especially the WrestleMania one's got to cost, 50, 60,000 just for that one.
I guarantee
it's probably worth more. It's probably worth more than the rest of the years.
Oh yeah, which I guarantee you, like they spend like at least a couple $1 million on like the like for both nights. For like absolutely. The pyro, like for both shows, period.
Absolutely, no doubt about that.
But
yeah,
like
his pyro was insane, Jeremy. If you saw it live, Chris.
Oh,
for Kane.
But like the WrestleMania, which like the display for like the WrestleMania, when it comes to like the pyro, man, it's awesome. It is, and I think that like the WrestleMania this year is going to be the highest grossing Mania of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy the records they're setting right now.
No, it really is. I would agree with you 110% on that.
And the thing is that you just think that a couple years ago we were speaking about how bad the product was, and now it's the hottest that it's been since the Attitude Era. So,
Yeah, Undertaker's stuff too, Jeremy, was a good one when Undertaker would do his. It was a different time, Chris, with all this stuff where they would do it pyro.
yeah,
You know, it was so cool to be a part of it and see, you know,
yeah.
what they were able to do on these shows.
Which I saw the Undertaker live
Mhm.
with his pyro. It was absolutely awesome. And the thing is there's nothing like experiencing the Undertaker's entrance live. It is freaking awesome.
Yeah, I've seen him a bunch of times live. It's always an experience.
The last time I saw him live, he was facing Luther Reigns.
Luther Reigns. Wow.
Yeah, this was at No Way Out 2005. And
Luther Reigns.
Yes, and like the same pay-per-view, it was Booker T versus Heidenreich, the Bashrooms versus Rey Mysterio, and Ray and Eddie. And like the main event was JBL versus the Big Show for the WWE title in a barbed wire steel cage.
Wow.
So
a barbed wire steel cage. Interesting.
So yeah, essentially it was just barbed wire wrapped on top of the steel cage. That's it. I mean, but that was one of like my funnest memories, like with my dad. So like,
Did you see Vader live, Chris?
I have never seen Vader live. Yeah, I mean, did you have to bring like a gas mask?
I can't remember if I've ever seen him live or not. I don't think I have. Maybe I did, but I don't think so.
By the way, which I was watching like the TNA Plus app, and I saw you on one of the shows.
Oh yeah,
the show was called Night of the Dummies.
Jesus.
Yes, it was Night of the Dummies.
You saw me on it?
Yes, I did actually. Which
Yeah,
it was based out of Binghamton, New York.
You got it. I was at it.
Yes.
I saw Eli Drake at the time. They were doing like a TNA like type of invasion.
Yeah.
And me and Miller were out there, and we got an opportunity to meet Eli Drake, LA Knight at the time. He was shooting a promo right outside the Legion. If I remember correctly, it was an American Legion. And we were watching him tape the promo, and he was tremendous. And then he got done or whatever, and we went up and said, we were a fan of his work or whatever. And said hey, and he made a wisecrack at us and was a super nice guy and was really funny and good dude, man.
Oh yeah, and
really, really cool. That's crazy. The Night of the Dummies. I forgot that.
But like the way like they set up,
you got to take a picture of that and send it to me where I was on it. That's funny.
I will. And it
was the royal treatment for that when we were there that night, Chris. Actually, we were backstage before the show started, met all the guys and everything like that. So
really,
we were supposed to. I think it was when the podcast first started.
Yeah,
and we were supposed to do interviews with some of the guys back there, but we just didn't do it. We were just having a good time and talking to some of the wrestlers and that were on the show and the people, and we just completely just didn't even do it. They treated us like gold that night when we were there.
Because like the way like they set it up, even though like the place is small, which it looks really good. They did a good job. It was a good show.
Last time I saw Taker was against Rey Mysterio at the Rumble. Okay, I've never been to a pay-per-view for WWE live.
Really?
Never. Okay, Preston Vance getting the W for his team or as a tribute to Brody Lee.
All right.
Preston Vance was in that Dark Order or something, right?
Yeah, he 10 was his name.
Okay. Look at Paul Bear on the outside loading up and hitting Shamrock with his shoe.
Yeah, I would be honest with you. I was listening to Busted Open Radio earlier. I have a love-hate with that show. Okay. And the thing is that I love listening to Bully Ray. I love listening to Tommy Dreamer, Mark Henry.
Greco, he just drives you away, right?
He does.
Oh, he's terrible.
How is he the number one wrestling radio guy?
Blows my fucking mind every day.
In the world. I don't
Blows my mind.
Because
LaGreca is obnoxious.
Yeah, because whenever it comes like to podcasting with the podfather like Mr. Conrad, which I get it because you can listen to him and he's really good. But LaGreca?
Hey, it was his creation. He brought everybody on. They made it what they made it. More power to him. He's not going anywhere. I mean, that's his show. It's the biggest show in the world for wrestling for podcasting on Sirius XM and all the stuff they put out on their own independently. But I listen to it a couple of times a week, and I listened to today's episode with it where they were talking about the Tony Khan stuff, the tweets.
Yeah.
So
that I've not heard yet, but I listened to the Edge interview yesterday, which was really, really good.
Vader's going for the power bomb here. Is Shamrock going to get out of this? Yep. God, Shamrock was look. Oh man!
Good God! Did you see that belly button? Yeah, I agree.
Actually, a good match. Shamrock's got the ankle lock on him of some sort here. It's like a knee bar.
The belly-to-belly suplex with like the knee bar, leg grapevine. Uh-oh.
Now Paul tried to grab him there, and he's about to get pummeled by Ken here.
That would have been a fun match to watch, actually. Paul Bearer versus Ken Shamrock.
Paul Bearer versus Ken, to see Ken just murder him.
It would. That'd be oh, come on.
Vader just carelessly jumping on the small of Ken Shamrock's back there.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Uh-oh.
Is he going to go for the Vader bomb here? No. Vader looks so checked out at this point, Chris.
He does. It's just one of those things where it's like, fuck it, he does not care.
People forget just how over Vader was in the early 90s.
Oh, yeah. He was. Honestly, he was at one time the biggest heel in WCW. I mean, the guy was absolutely over. A monster. Like his work in Japan. I mean, like the guy was literally one of the biggest stars in the world.
Absolutely, he was 110%.
And unfortunately, whenever he got to the WWF, right after his match with Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam '96, it went downhill because once Shawn said, "That doesn't work for me, brother," Vader's push just got completely demolished.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
WrestleMania when they come to Nashville. You know, Jeremy, I wanted to go this year to Philly. I can't justify spending the money, but I would love to go. If I come into the Bucks, I wouldn't mind going to the Nashville one. I think it'd be a lot of fun, man.
So are they going to Nashville next year?
I think Nashville's next year, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I would be down for it as long as I had the money and we could get good tickets. I'm always down. I want to see a WrestleMania more than anything. Philly just didn't strike me this much this year as one I wanted to go see live. I just wasn't into it. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to be in the country, so I'm not even going to be around for WrestleMania this year.
Oh yeah. Why don't they have WrestleMania in Pittsburgh? I think that'd be great.
Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Pittsburgh,
the Steel City. Wow.
Why would you want to do WrestleMania in April in Pittsburgh? I don't even know why they want to do it in Philly if they're doing it outside in April. In Pittsburgh?
Yes.
It'll be sleeting out probably.
Well, you're one of those people that think that also that Super Bowl shouldn't be played in cold weather.
I don't.
Okay.
Give the guys a fighting chance when they go in there. I mean, it's fun when they've had, them in the rain and stuff a little bit in the past, but
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I like the warm weather more than anything. I hate the cold, so I would prefer everything to be in the warm weather if you ask me. Vader's trying to intimidate Vince here. Vince ain't backing down.
Yeah, I got you. Or heck, do WrestleMania in Charlotte. I think that actually would be a bad deal.
I think Charlotte would be a good one. They have the ability to really pack the stadium there. I would bet.
Yeah,
Shamrock puts Paul in the ankle lock, and instead of tapping, he says, "Oh yes, oh yes,
oh yes." I don't know, Vader, who's the most dangerous man in the world. Tell me.
When does Vader leave WWE? Is it like in '97? It's right around this time, right?
No. I think May of '98. Because
he makes it another year.
Yes, because one of his last matches, I believe, was at Judgment Day whenever he faced Kane, and he got struck in the face with a rubber wrench, and he called himself a fat piece of shit.
I don't remember him being relevant in '98 anymore, to be honest with you. I don't remember him really being too relevant at this point either, but he was a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
He was definitely dialing it in. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, he was. The best there is, the best there was, the best ever will be. Woo!
Do you like yourself some Big Red?
I do. And if you don't like Big Red, then fuck you. I'm
There
going
you
to put
go.
Ricky Bobby. Do you like
Look at
Prune?
that view. That's a beautiful view there from Halifax. That's a beautiful. Looks like a beautiful city.
Oh, yeah, it is. Do you like prune candy, John?
That's not real.
Do I like what?
Prune candy.
Don't fall
Prune
for it.
candy?
Prune candy.
Well, I don't know what the hell that is.
You're a fan of Ricky Bobby, right?
Yes, I love it.
Okay. Whatever, like they're doing like the promos, like for Big Red and all that. One of them like was for like a thing called Prune Candy.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I remember that one.
Shut no cow.
Oh, Chris. Is this Brackus?
Oh my God, it's Brackus.
It's Brackus. What the hell did he just say?
I don't know.
If the Austin what chants were a thing at this point, that's what they would have got for Brackus right there.
Yes.
I saw that schmuck at a house show once.
He was terrible. Wasn't he?
I'll never forget it. He wrestled Ron H2O Waterman, I think it was, who was a UFC fighter too and did wrestling. The match was the shits. It was bad. Here comes the Hart Foundation out here. Dude,
do you hear the crowd?
Yeah. Yeah, I see Joe's new belt, Jeremy. I'm looking at it right now. And then there's some creepy girl in the front row that's trying to dress like Sting.
No offense, I think they should have left the AEW belt alone. I thought the design was gorgeous, the original design.
I'm not a big fan of the bigger belts, as big as they are, that they make them like that. This is me.
Do you like the newer design
of the AEW? But no, I like the more traditional ones. I don't like that one that they have that much.
Okay, I got you. That's like the WWE title. The one that they had during this time, I loved it. The Wing Dingle, in my opinion, is the most beautiful world championship ever.
Boy, AEW is putting this Swerve Strickland guy over to the moon.
Yeah.
He's a good worker, though.
Oh, yeah, Swerve is fantastic.
Yeah, he's a good worker.
So is it going to be Swerve versus Samoa Joe with the...
I think that's where they're going with it.
I got you.
I think it's where they're going with it. Boy, the Canadian fans here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, loves the Hart Foundation. What'd you say?
Oh yeah. With the Ugo meter, what do you rate?
I can't rate them yet. I haven't got enough good views. There must be something bad about this crowd for them to not pay into it too much.
Oh, come on.
So I don't know yet. I gotta wait and see. It's gonna take a little time to determine.
I got you.
Boy, they were going back and forth over and back over that border at this point in time, weren't they?
Oh God, yeah, they were. I mean, it's smart. I mean,
they're playing up a Canada versus USA feud.
With as hot as Bret Hart was at this time, yeah, I don't blame him at all. Good God, this crowd.
Canadian fans are always great.
Oh yeah, they are. That's like I tell people, which I think one of the best crowds in the world is Montreal.
Yep, we say it all the time here on the show.
Yep. Chicago and Montreal, in my opinion, are the two best.
Pucker up Austin. Owen Hart, Intercontinental Champ for life. Somebody put a sign. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, yeah, like, are we headed towards SummerSlam?
Yeah. Head towards SummerSlam.
Okay.
They're having that big match where that's where Austin's neck gets broken, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's correct. And one of like the worst roll-ups in the history of the business.
Yeah, I don't even know how he got out, did it the way that he did with that. Pretty tremendous.
Yes. And but like, no offense, like with all due respect to Owen, I don't know why he did that move to begin with.
Yeah, the mysteries of life, right?
Because honestly, like the tombstone, which essentially it was a tombstone, except he sat flat on his ass. That's the Undertaker's move.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. But like Owen, he ran with it, and he had like that T-shirt, which was Owen 316. I just broke your neck, and yeah. Speaking of like the 316 shirts, the Austin 316 shirt is still in the top 10 for selling.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
It's amazing that still to this day it's like that. All right, now they got Adam Hangman Page here on AEW, so it looks like they're going to have Hangman versus Swerve versus Joe is going to be like one of their things they're doing here. Yeah, he does look like a Dollar Tree Magnum TA, that's for sure.
Dude, I mean, because Hangman, he puts asses in seats.
Yeah, he's a big money guy, huh?
Where's well, I mean, the one person we can thank for CM Punk finally getting his main event at Mania? We can thank Jack Perry.
Where is Jack Perry these days?
I don't know.
That boy, when he comes back, is gonna get roasted by the fans, I'm sure.
It's just real grass. Okay, sorry.
That kid hasn't been seen since All Out.
No.
I wonder if his girlfriend Anna Jay dumped him too.
Oh yeah. But no.
Here comes Austin.
What do you think the cage match rating is going to be for the main event tonight?
Oh, it's gonna be. I couldn't even predict it. I'm not in touch with it. I'm not smart enough. The smartest fans in the world go to cage match.
Apparently, which I just found out tonight, which I was hearing like a thing online. Mr. Tony Khan used to participate in fantasy booking discussion boards and used to book pay-per-views.
Hey, whatever you got to do, bro.
What?
And his first pay-per-view was called Dynamite.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Wow. He's innovative with this big time stuff.
So yeah, just
this big time stuff right there. Jeremy says he's still suspended. What the hell did he do so bad that he's still suspended right now? I mean, like people have had multiple strikes and oh god, Chris, it's coming out on AEW right now.
Abaddon.
Joe. What?
Who's it? Abaddon? I don't know.
No. Chris, look on the screen here. Send him in. It's Hook.
Oh my god. Who the fuck is this guy?
Oh Jesus. Boy, Tony Khan. Oh yeah, and here they are. I got it on subtitles here. You if you guys haven't seen the Twitter battle with Tony Khan and the world about Jinder Mahal, we'll be discussing it on the show for the radio on Saturday. It's already taped. It's pretty funny.
And
here though, he's really playing this up, buddy.
And needless to say, like we are pro gender in this.
You are. I could give a shit less about gender.
Well, don't you hinder gender.
I could give a shit less about that guy.
Okay.
I'm a fan of Hook.
Okay. Get the Hook. Yeah. Dude, Hook's a legend. I'm just saying. He is.
The crowd likes him now. He's very over with the crowd.
He is.
He's very over with the crowd in that AEW market, but whatever.
But like
I didn't know they made suits big enough to fit Samoa Joe. It's pretty impressive. He's looking pretty dapper in that one.
Does Hook shop in the team section? The boy section?
He might. He's shopping in the JCPenney's 12-14.
Exactly, because I know that Adam Cole, he's still shopping at Baby Gap, so I mean it's all good.
Who's taller, Hook or Adam Cole, do you think?
I say Hook.
Hook's a strong dude though, man. He's a good worker. I think he's got a lot of potential.
I mean, you look at who trained him
Who trained him?
Taz. And that's his dad. So
Jeremy's a fan of Hook too. He likes him.
I mean,
Samoa Joe is a Samoan kingpin.
Yes.
He is. He's like, oh, I got to watch. Speaking of that, when the show gets over tonight, I'm going to watch the new Echo on Disney. Yes. I don't know if you're a Marvel guy and all the Marvel stuff, but we're going to get Daredevil back if you're a fan of the comics and stuff and in the shows. So,
which unfortunately, I'm more of a DC guy, and I have not had much to look. Yeah. Which I saw.
DC's got some okay stuff.
Which I saw like the new Aquaman movie, and it was literally a 2-hour long public service announcement about global warming.
About what?
About global warming.
Don't talk about my man like that.
I'm sorry.
So the movie sucked?
Man.
Yes, like the movie sucked.
I saw the first one. It was pretty good, but I really haven't had any urge to check this one out. I'll watch it when it comes out on the streaming platforms. I'm just not gonna pay for it.
The God honest truth, if it wasn't for like my kids being at the movie with me, we would have left. Dude, it was
No,
as a motorcycle rider and enthusiast, it really pains me to see that clip from last week where they take off with one of their beautiful Harleys.
Yes. Yes.
and just drag it right behind the lowrider. So at
Dude.
SummerSlam, it's an 8-man tag warfare match. It's going to be Los Boricuas versus the DOA, Chris. We're going to be having an exciting
Dude.
night then. Bro, look at Brian Walsh in the ring. Look at this guy.
Good God, dude.
He's a Canadian legend.
He is what I'm telling you this right now, what's going to happen is the Cage Match website is going to crash after that 8-man warfare match.
Chris, do you even think Brian Walsh is from Canada?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That's like saying that Lance Von Erich is a Von Erich.
Here comes Grandmaster Sexay.
And thank you, Brian Christopher.
Well, he knew how to droop some good heat from the crowd here. Oh, he just ripped up a Canadian flag. I love it.
But Brian, thank you for helping us with our page. So yeah, just
look at that zebra print he's got going on.
I love it.
Wow. Shotgun Saturday Night. They're showing a clip here from Scott Putski. I don't know who the hell that was that he beat there, but
and
then
by the way,
Christopher and Lawler ended up beating him Putski down again.
By the way, I got a court date for 2028 for DraftKings.
Say that again.
Which I have a court date for 2028 for DraftKings, and it's because of what happened. I mean, which I'm not going to go into detail because you guys will find out this weekend.
Yeah,
but
very tragic stuff.
It is.
We saw Chris's world implode very fast.
It did, and guess what? I got 4 years until the court date, so like I'm going to prepare my defense, and I can't wait.
Joker is a good DC movie. It's very dark, but I like it too, Daniel. I'm a fan of that one as well. Brian Christopher, though, they really did a lot to try to get him over at this point, wouldn't you say, Chris?
They did, and it's sad because I don't think it really translated well. That's until he became Grandmaster Sexay, and the thing is that Brian is a hell of a performer.
He's a great performer. He's got a great look to him. I mean, he's not a big guy by any means, but he's got a great look to him. He worked good in the ring. He was pretty funny, when he got on the mic and cut a couple of promos. The Too Cool stuff was great, though. Later on, of course.
I agree. You just imagine.
Jim Van Horn has a fan club apparently here in Halifax. Look at that big sheet that somebody's holding up.
Dude, Jim Van Horn, man, like the legendary Jim Van Horn. If
I'm sitting behind that person, I am going to punch him in the face because that guy's literally holding up an entire sheet that says the Jim Horn fan club. What would you do to that guy?
I would smack him upside the head like with a bottle of maple syrup. Okay.
Indeed. For whatever reason, Brian decided to walk around with a Canadian flag in his mouth, and now he's drooling all over the place.
What's your favorite Jim Van Horn match?
I can't narrow down any.
It's like choosing your favorite child, right?
Seriously.
You just can't do it.
It's like choosing between Coke or Pepsi. They're both tasting good to me.
Yeah.
Jim Van Horn, what a dude. Oh, Jimmy Del Rey versus Val Venus.
Oh my God. Dude, you talk about panties dropping. Just
Gigolo's taking out the big schmuck Boski there.
There you go.
Del Rey.
That Jimmy Del Rey video that I posted, I love it.
The Gigolo is a man that holds our hearts near and dear. What a guy.
He's a man among boys.
We had told a story about him on the show this weekend about how you wanted to hang out with the Gigolo as a kid, and we kind of thought he might have been your dad, but you got a very harsh dose of reality when the Gigolo told you to figure shit out for yourself and left you in the trailer all by yourself for about a month.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Daniel is here. Look at this. I call it the Gigolo, and Daniel comes out. Isn't that ironic? The Gigolo name was used, and I just had to be here. Right when we start talking about the Gigolo, Daniel pops up.
The Gigolo genie, okay? Like
it's the Gigolo radar, I guess, in Daniel that came up.
There you
go. Gigadar.
The Gigadar. Hey, Daniel, brother, I love you. I hope you're doing all right. And what's called? By the way, in like the Rikishi video that I posted, it's doing well over 12,000 views.
Excellent. Clean it up.
No. Like the Rikishi giving Hulk Hogan the stink face.
Oh yeah, that one. Gotcha. That was a good one. We're on Raw, folks. If anybody's joining us and hasn't been watching with us and just coming on, welcome to the show. Make sure you like and follow the video on whatever platform you're watching on. Make sure you subscribe and follow the channel on whatever you're checking it out on, whether it is YouTube or whether it is on Facebook. So please make sure you follow the page and hit a like on it and hit a like on the video. We greatly appreciate it. We're on Monday Night Raw right now from July 21st, 97. And if you guys want to watch along with us, my timestamp right now is 30 minutes and 17 seconds. So that's where we're at right now.
And me and John, within like the next few months, like we're gonna make a push to improve the YouTube page because we want to grow that as well. We're grateful for the growth we've had here on Facebook, but we also want you guys to have multiple platforms that you can go on. So we'll
start promoting it better here soon and putting up some more stuff.
And me and John's goal for the year for Facebook is for us to have 10,000 followers, and you guys are well on the way like to making that happen. Dare I say, dude, we might have it by the fall.
We'll see. Who knows?
So
they got AEW on, but it had to make a late arrival. I got it on the background too, and I'm keeping up with it as well a little bit as we go. Daniel. Here's a promo for the Truth Commission, Chris.
No one uses Jurgens like Kurgan.
Oh my god!
What an awful gimmick that was, the Truth Commission, Chris, wasn't it?
It was terrible.
The dude's coming up now. All right,
the dude's too.
Business is about to pick up.
Ow!
Love the dude.
The Deuster brother.
We watched the this weekend coming up on the radio. We watched Royal Rumble 2000 with Mick Foley, the dude, as Cactus Jack taking on Triple H. So it's a fun match. We'll be doing that on Saturday. Oh, Chris, here's a Coliseum exclusive from when Pet and Dork here and whoever this chick with horse. It looks like she's like horsey are calling and letting somebody know they won the house.
Did they?
Listen to them. They won the house. Imagine if Pet and Gill calls you, Chris.
I would hang up.
Yeah, that dick. 10,000 followers of Shiki. Dude Mania. Take your pick. Bloodline, Nation of Domination. Bloodline.
Bloodline.
Going Bloodline for that one.
You know what's sad is that Mark Marrow's run was completely done by this time.
Go out front and get
the whole Sable thing. She overshadowed him really fast, right?
He did, which is unfortunate because like
Daniel's got Bloodline too. Who are you taking, Chris?
Bloodline. Okay.
What about you, Jeremy? Anybody else out there? Who do you got? Bloodline or Nation? Which is better?
And the big thing is that me and you, like, we both love Mark to death. Like, we actually look up to him, and he's a friend of the show. And it's just unfortunate what happened to him because you saw the amazing run he had in World Championship Wrestling, and so it is what it is.
This is a great video package for Dude Love, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Look at the different. Look at the evolution of Mick Foley as a young man. Look at all the different versions of characters he's had in his career, Chris.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
I like the Cactus Jack, or the Cactus Jack Manson or whatever.
Yes.
I think that's a cool name. I mean, I never saw that version of him live or anything like that, but I think it's a cool name actually. I could get why they didn't use it in more bigger companies, like WCW or WWE. It's probably not a good name to want to be associated with for advertisers.
I agree 1,000%. And you know what? Mick was actually extremely smart. He was one of the early wrestlers to actually not sell his name, and he was able to use it in all of his companies and with like the Cactus Jack name.
Hey, good for him.
Yeah, because you notice how he used it in all of the companies he was involved with, and what you call it? Does he own Dude Love?
I have no idea. No idea. I don't ever see him play it much, so I don't know. I don't know who owns what on any of those things.
Because I know like the Mankind character the WWE owns, but
Jeremy's going Bloodline on that, but great match it would have been. Yeah, I think it would be a fun one. I'd want to see like the Rock version. I'd like to see if I was going to see a version of the Nation versus the Bloodline. I want to see a version where they kind of have Faarooq at his strongest in there, like when he was the leader, and the Rock like when he was the leader and at his strongest, and then add like a Mark Henry and like a D'Lo in there.
Yep.
I would love to see that. I think that'd be the good way to do it. Daniel said, enjoyed Marvelous, but the moment Sable bombed him, he couldn't rebound. Absolutely. That was it for him. It was the kiss of death at the time.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of D'Lo, actually, we have a fun story about D'Lo, like the radio show coming up this week. So
it is. D'Lo's great on the show this weekend. That's a good one. They wanted a package of dude love, and he said, sorry, daddy, but the dude is only into chicks. Ow!
Ow. How you doing? Have mercy.
Boy, this is a guy that just... He had so much personality, Mick Dutton, and everything that he did. Just amazing. Mick is just such an amazing, character.
Mick is amazing. I love Mick.
Seems like an amazing person too.
He is. Honestly, Mick Foley is hands down the nicest wrestler that I've ever met.
Look at Austin with the earring. I don't remember him having an earring. Yeah, I forgot he did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's like I tell people, like the nicest wrestlers that I've ever met, Mick Foley, Eddie Guerrero, and Cross. Speaking of Cross, what do you think about his new stable?
I like the stable. I just hope they can do something with it. So that's for me. I like the stable. I just hope that they could do something with it and do it correctly. Because if you can't get this stable over with Paul Ellering, Scarlett, him, and the Authors of Pain, I don't know what to say for you. Yeah. I don't know what to say for you at that point.
Do you
Arn has the rights to the Horsemen, Jeremy? Wow.
Really?
Mick was a great guy to meet. Would always recommend meeting the Micker. Everybody I've ever known says the same thing. Mick is just the coolest dude.
Oh, yeah. Mick is amazing. Like I said, whenever I met Mick, Mick was so like essentially Mick was doing a signing at like a show that we went to.
Angel, come here.
And the thing is that my son wanted to meet Mick, and we had the money for both of us, and Mick didn't charge my son. He just charged me, and he signed for both of us. So he's an awesome human being.
Now, Angel.
So yeah.
He bought the rights to AEW or to the Horsemen last year. Well, that's interesting. Surprised if they should do something with it. I'm sure people would still, want to. I'm sure they'd still want that.
Yeah.
Get some merch from it or whatever.
That's smart, man.
Hello,
smart.
Christian Charles from Brazil. You love wrestling in WWE. Awesome, man. Welcome. Good to see you out. Have a great night. Thanks for checking out the show.
We appreciate it greatly. Ow, have mercy.
They really were getting better at this point, though. I know they had a really rough stretch. What did they have? About a month, maybe 6 weeks of just really dreadful shows.
Yes.
They really start turning a corner here in '97. Now around this point, if I remember correctly.
This show is really good.
Once that fucking gang wars stuff that they do is over, it makes it even better. Thank God.
Oh my God.
Big Bill's on the screen in AEW right now. Big Bill is Chris's favorite. He loves him.
Yes, Big Bill. Yeah,
Chris is a mark for Big Bill.
Yeah, because we know he's so good without Enzo.
It's tremendous. He's an AEW tag team champion with absolute Ricky Starks right now. I guess
Ricky Starks is outstanding though.
He's going to WWE in a year or two. That's going to happen.
Yeah, Ricky's excellent. I can't really talk crap because I saw Ricky live and absolutely Ricky was absolutely phenomenal live. So yeah.
The Big Billites is a big fan base across the world, Chris. The Big Billites just literally are going to be sweeping the nation in 2024, Chris. Mark my words.
They are. I mean, what you going to do when the Big Billites run wild on you? Honestly, I'll be honest. I don't see much. I don't see it with Big Bill. But yeah.
Ricky and Punk in the main event was a great time. Is that when Punk put him over, Daniel?
That was the Collision show that me and Daniel went to, and
Gotcha.
and the match was out freaking standing. Punk won, but like a Ricky looked like $1 million.
He's got a lot of potential, I'll tell you that. He gets
does.
better and better from what I see all the time. I'm not going to lie and say I'm the biggest fan of him in any way because I'm not, but
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of potential, and I could see, I could see a lot coming from him potentially with some things he could maybe tweak a little bit, but I'm not a pro and I'm not at that level. So we're just fans watching this, giving our opinions as fans. Some people love him, so I get it.
We're not going to be like some
like who you like. I love it. Have fun.
Well, bottom line, we're not going to be like some pro athletes that think that they know more than scientists about vaccinations. And
all right, no politics on the show. Stop.
And the same goes for wrestling. We're fans. We don't know more than the average wrestler. We don't. We can only speculate and we can only give our opinion. But we will always say we're just fans. We don't have the inside track within the business. We don't. We just watch and we give our opinion. There you go.
It's just for fun. And, like everybody's got their flavors of what they like. That's for sure.
Yep.
Flair said the Horsemen would never be in the same room together again, probably because Arn owns the rights and Flair is certain none of them reached out when Reed died. I think they did something at a Starcast or something recently. I think for the first time for ages. I believe they did something recently, Jeremy. I'm not sure though, 100%. I'm not sure if Rick was there 100%. I think he was. Maybe I'm wrong on that though. I don't know. Do you remember that, Chris? That happened this last year?
I do not remember, to be honest with you.
No.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I just don't remember.
Yeah.
Good
Lawrence
job.
Said, good day, all from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Hello, my friend. It's always great to see you, Lawrence.
What's
Hope
going
you're doing
on?
great. They announced Hook versus Joe for next week. Let's go, Joe. You missed our Hook discussion earlier, Daniel. We were talking about the Hook. Chris sends in the Hook.
Who the fuck is this guy? Anyways.
That was a hilarious meme, though, that you sent me earlier with that.
Yes. Lawrence, brother, are you going to be going to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view?
Oh, yeah, because it's in Australia.
Yep, it's in Perth.
I don't know the geography of Australia well, so I don't know how far Queensland is from wherever they're doing it. So
which it's a big country, so
yeah, huge, yeah, it's big spot. So I have no idea what the geography of their country is to be able to guess if he's close.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'd be a fun one to go to if he is close.
Oh yeah, it would. I mean, because it's already sold out from what I understand.
Yeah, Daniel said they did a Starcast Horseman signing in 2022, but obviously, Oakley wasn't there for health reasons and everybody hated him. Daniel said he'd go to Australia for mommy, Chris.
Mommy, baby.
The Doom is out. Their promo from after Raw last week. The Doom is really holding on at this point because, they still get a good pop for us, but let's be realistic. They definitely weren't the Doom, the Road Warriors that we remember.
This theme music is just outstanding.
It's one of the worst ever.
When I'm making love to Mrs. Martin here, that's the song I play.
In fact, when we did the Henry show, I remember specifically asking him if he liked his squealing entrance music, and he got a laugh out of it. So I don't think he liked it too much either, but I guess it fit with him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Haven't got a ticket to the WWE event in Perth, mostly due to being lazy. Did go to WCW when they were in Brisbane back in the day, however. Oh, okay. Are you planning on going, Lawrence, to the WWE event in Perth here, Elimination Chamber, or not planning on doing it at all?
The only thing that I remember from the WCW run in Australia was Hoobie. The stories of Hoobie.
Of who?
Of Juventud Guerrero.
Oh, yeah, where he runs through naked and he's tripping balls on something.
And how he got banned from the country.
Yeah, he got booted out of a country and told him, don't ever come back. The Godwinns theme was Nia making noises and recording it.
Stop. Don't talk about my boo like that.
That's Chris's girl. He loves her.
Nia's my boo. All right.
This
I'm
new
gonna say
Blackjack's gimmick was the fucking worst, Chris.
It was.
So bad.
And like my boo, she's gonna be bringing the WWE Raw Women's Championship back home.
She's gonna bring it back home. And she's gonna take out Mommy.
She is.
Let me tell you how they should book that match, okay, Chris? So, is she taking her on at Royal Rumble?
I think. Okay. I don't know.
So if they're doing Nia Snax versus Rhea, Nia just beat Becky, and I think she beat her clean, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, she did.
Rhea's out of challenger. She has steamrolled the entire division, and she's gonna have to go over and do it again because there's no competition whatsoever for her right now, in my opinion. But if you really want to make Rhea just completely even more dominant, then my suggestion would be what I would do is have Rhea absolutely squash her and steamroll her like Goldberg did to Brock Lesnar. In some way,
I agree.
Steamroll her, squash her in like fucking 20 seconds or less. Just destroy her fast.
I agree. Okay, I agree. I think that'd be a really good way to do it, and like the crowd would be in shock.
It would be great though for you to just make Rhea even bigger of a monster.
I agree. And then they should bring in Abaddon.
She draws the numbers.
She does.
Jeremy says, "There's my girl, Chris Statlander." He's referring to AEW right now.
She's fantastic, actually. She's really good. I really can't talk crap about Statlander. She's improved.
She's slightly growing on me. Slightly.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. Yeah, I can never forgive that alien gimmick. It was so dumb. So
I agree.
But she's slowly growing on me on some of the things that I've seen.
The best female in AEW right now, hands down, is Toni Storm. She's on fire.
She's, other than Mommy, she's doing the best in the business for wrestling right now for her character and just being must-see TV for watching for the ladies. She's definitely the second person right behind Mommy for me.
I agree.
See, Jeremy or Daniel says Statlander's on, and I'll take her over Nia. Yep. Okay, I'll get to this thing. Hoovy got all juicy on the drugs and Brisbane itself, butt naked and everything. Apparently, you can't book Rhea against a face at the Chamber, so definitely think Rhea and Nia will happen there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yep. Australia did let Hoovy back in after the WCW controversy. However, as he worked for WWA World Wrestling All-Stars here in Australia. Oh, that's right. He did go back for WWA, didn't he, Chris?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Didn't we see Battle Royal or something on that one episode we watched of it?
Yeah.
What a terrible show that is, too.
That was essentially the pre-TNA TNA. So, yeah.
That shit sucked when we watched it. What did we watch? 2 episodes of it?
Yeah.
It was awful. And it was the funniest thing is I've never seen that in my life until, if you remember, we were blown away that the announcers for the show were calling it into the microphone, which was then being broadcasted over the entire arena. So literally, here's the announcers just dubbing over the crowd reaction for whatever reason and talking over the thing. It was the most distracting garbage in the world. It was so terrible. Whoever had that idea. Woo!
You know what? We should watch Rodman Goes Down Under.
Rodman Goes Down Under. All right. Maybe one day. Who knows?
There was a pay-per-view that was based around Dennis Rodman, and he faced Mr. Perfect in the main event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Julia Hart is doing well for herself. I like Julia Hart. I think she's got a lot of potential. What do you guys think out there, Chris? Have you seen her work? You guys out on the streams? What do you guys think of Julia Hart? Think she's a star in the making?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like without a doubt. Like I think Julia, she's got like a lot of potential. She's definitely she's on an upward trajectory, especially after leaving the Varsity Blondes.
Yeah, she left that no talent ass clown Brian Pillman Jr. Thank you, God. The best day of her career was leaving that no talent hack behind.
So you're not a Lex offender?
Definitely not one of those.
Okay.
That guy sucks.
I mean,
sucks.
Hey,
terrible.
Hey. That's a very radical perspective you got.
I don't give a.
You don't give
none. Zero. given on that one. He
I got it.
sucks, that guy, and he's never going to get really good. And if he does, it's the fucking Miracle on 34th Street all over again, but in Orlando or wherever they're doing the show, because that guy's not getting over. Julia's going to be a big thing, I think, and she's going to be a big player in WWE one day. Whenever her contract runs out, WWE is going to throw the bucks at her if she keeps getting better like she is. So,
I'll be honest with you. If AEW lasts another decade, I will be surprised with the way that it's going.
This guy's got more money than you and I and everybody else would know what to do with in a lifetime. He could fund this as long as his daddy lets him and as long as he wants to. We're fucking billionaire, bro. This losing 10 million or 20 million ain't shit to him. Whatever he's losing. 100 million probably ain't even losing that much to him.
Yeah. Well, it must be nice.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. That'd be real nice. Julia got darker, leaving Brian, and yet probably never smiled more.
Oh.
I'm a huge fan of Hoovy in the day, regardless of his issues with WCW tour in Australia. My favorite WCW cruiserweight, liked him better than Kidman, Rey Mysterio in 98 to 2000 period. He was great. Okay. We always put him over on the show. Hoovy's a great worker. Just couldn't get out of his own way, right?
Oh, yeah, which I agree 1,000%. I think Hoovy, he could have been like a lot bigger than what he was, but unfortunately, his own personal demons. He was highly entertaining when he would do the juice stuff too, and just random, and he would just ramble incoherently into the microphone, and nobody could understand in broken English. I loved it. Which I saw Hoovy in Pittsburgh at an XPW show.
Yep, that must have been fun.
Dude, Hoovy was a blast to watch live.
I bet he must have been a riot to see.
He was.
All right, so the Godwinns just won here. Chris, sorry to interrupt you for a second. This match was dreadful.
It was.
And a bright idea, and whose ever bright idea was it to put the Godwinns, the Headbangers, and the other team out there and put them in a tag team match, and the new Blackjacks. I don't know what you're thinking.
Bro, really?
Just dreadful that was.
And the thing is that but no, like the XPW show, this is before the company closed the first time, and Shane Douglas was actually booking it, so it looked like a halfway decent wrestling show without the bull crap that they did before and that they do now. So yeah, it looked like a watered down version of ECW, but it wasn't actually half bad. But yeah. Just
look at this news site from this newspaper in Canada. U.S. fights to free ferry. It's pretty clear that Americans are becoming more entrenched and difficult to deal with. Extremists. Is this the stuff they were posting back in the day in Canada or something?
Yep. Wow. If they
I didn't know we had such a contentious relationship with our friends from the north.
Yeah. If they only knew about how bad it would get.
Britt Baker joining WWE, I wouldn't be surprised. Jeremy said, only way she's going is if her boyfriend or her soon-to-be husband, whatever their status is, goes back there. She's also a full-time dentist, doesn't want to give up her career either, Jeremy. So I don't know if she could handle the WWE, rotation there unless she got a special agreement of some sorts, which I can't imagine. But I don't know. Maybe they could work something out. I think Cole goes back to WWE one day.
And the thing is that Miss Britt Baker, she is a Pittsburgh original, so you got to give her flowers.
Andrew McManus, promoter here in Australia, tours with the likes of Kiss. Before WWE was behind the Superstars of Wrestling tour, and they had a bunch of pay-per-views that were linked with it. Loran said he did go to the Superstars in Brisbane, saw Kurt Hennig wrestle Rodman in the main event. There you go. And also got to meet and greet Tatanka and the Road Warriors in the airport. All right.
Really? Very cool.
All right. Let's see. All right. Daniel says, Canada gave me Trish Stratus. I'll never be contentious with them. I agree. Adam Demoy said, who would you say are the top 3 most trusted dirt sheets today, or the ones that I usually browse? I'll be honest with you. I'll say for me, Adam, you can never trust anybody, but I think the most trustworthy dirt sheets is Jason Powell. I think he does a really good job at it from what I've seen. I know Ringside is just trash, but it always pops up in my link WrestleZone I used to go to. But Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just kind of go out there. I don't really trust anything from a dirt sheet, but when I see him, it's usually from like Jason Powell or Ringside or WrestleZone or something like that. What about you, Chris?
Jason Powell, NoDQ.com, and Wrestle Inc.
Okay. You know what the problem with a lot of the sites like NoDQ.com and some of the other ones that are out there trying to get over is they just copy and paste from other people that actually try to pretend like they have sources. So,
Really?
well, occasionally you might see him get it. Do you see that idiot behind No DQ, Horseshoe or whatever his name is, getting scoops from the WWE? Do you really see that? They just copy and paste from the reputable sites like Fightful or, reputable now. I'm not gonna say reputable, but the ones that are over. That's what a lot of people just do.
And which I have to say like the four least reputable I would have to say is Dave Meltzer, Nick Hausman, Billy Body, and the one we used to associate with. What's his name? Crap. Dude, I'm drawing a blank here.
I am too. Shawn Michaels is coming out though. I don't think Shawn was drawing many blanks, especially not with Sonny. What about you, Adam? Who do you go to? Jeremy says he goes to the Bleacher Report. Who do you go to, Adam?
Yeah.
Which are the ones that you prefer and that you like the most? Hey, they are what they are, I mean, everything's never gonna be right. People are making shit up for clicks and stuff. I get it, whatever. I don't think it's right or ethical, but hey, it is what it is. I don't like to see them when they slander people and make points that they don't want to show proof of, out there for. And like that Houseman goof did about Jericho. I mean, if you got the proof and the sources and people are willing to come out, great. If not, you're just ruining somebody's name.
Well, because apparently Nick Hausman backtracked on what he said about Jericho, my feelings on it is that frickin' Jericho threatened to sue his ass. So, and I don't.
What would he sue him for, though? How much do you think that goof is worth?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, how much could he really be making on House of Wrestling or whatever the fuck his thing is called that he's got? How much could he really be making doing that?
Maybe a couple thousand a month.
I bet you maybe he's making $3,000-4,000 a month. Probably making around.
Which isn't bad.
It's a good living. It's a great living. But I mean, imagine this guy's flying to the shows to go to media scrums and all that crap. Yeah. Imagine the money out of pocket they're probably paying, especially if they're independents.
Oh yeah, which I agree. Oh, no, wait. The one that I was blanking on was Brad Shepard. There you go.
Oh no, nobody cares about that idiot. Wrestling News Source, Adam says. I've never heard of them, man.
Yeah. So yeah.
Me.
Houseman at the time was under the Conrad
umbrella when he posted the tweets. Really? How do you know that, Adam?
Wow.
I haven't heard anything about that one. What do you mean under the umbrella? What was he doing for him? Just curious. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, but just curious. I haven't heard that one. I don't know what he's doing working for him or under his umbrella.
Because
boy, Sean's getting some good heat from the crowd here, Chris, in Canada.
Oh god, he is because we know like a Conrad that he has a fixation with Meltzer, so it wouldn't surprise me with Hausman. But we love Conrad, don't get me wrong, but just in general, yeah.
All right, I got to be honest in this show so far. It had a good opener actually with Vader and Shamrock. It was pretty exciting. The crowd is very hot and good. Bret's promo was good. The rest of this show so far, and we're more than halfway through it, is completely lackluster.
I agree.
It's just completely put together like slop, in my opinion. I get what they're doing. The promos are okay and they're good, but I don't know. I just don't. I don't like the format of this show so far after that first match.
Good God! All right, so
he had a show with the ad free on YouTube. All right, okay, interesting, Al.
I did not know that.
Daniel says Sean loves Canada. We all know. Yep. Since age 16, I've tried to train in pro wrestling, but never finished wrestling school. So I take my hat off to people who are successful, but I will put shit on people who can't work, as everyone who trains in pro wrestling should at least know the fundamentals. One of my many issues I have with it in current pro wrestling. Yeah, very good points, Lawrence. Very, very good points.
one of like the main issues me and John have like with modern pro wrestling is the wrestlers that try so hard like to get like their shit in, and they don't bother to slow down and actually tell a story.
However,
and that annoys the shit out of me. And I know like that does with you, because it's all about the character work. Because no offense, if your character doesn't resonate like the fan base, then the moves that you do aren't going to mean shit.
Like, look at what Shawn Michaels is doing right here when you're giving an example of character. Okay, Shawn is completely playing this character, which I think was a great version of probably who he was as a person at the time too. But this is definitely a tuned up version, and he's using his character that he's portraying out here to intelligently get the crowd to invest in what he's going to be doing in the near future, and with what he's supposed to be doing in this segment, which is to get heat from this Canadian crowd. That's how you make a character work.
I agree 1000%. So
you could put a million matches on and everything, but if you're not getting the audience invested in these men and women as baby faces and heels and good characters, they're never gonna ever get big time over.
I agree 1000%.
They're calling for Bret right now in the crowd, and Shawn's playing it up that he's not coming. Oh, okay. Rumor and innuendos will still show up on it. Okay, I'll check that out later. Absolutely. Steele and Punk's lawyers threatened to sue Jericho if he talks about what happened with Punk and the Elite. Nobody in that room can never speak of the event again. Yeah, they sound like NDAs or something like that. I saw that.
That don't surprise me.
Once again, thanks everybody for coming out here and joining us tonight or later on whenever you watch this. We greatly appreciate it. If you can, please like the video and whatever you're watching on Facebook. Just hit that thumbs up. It'd be greatly appreciated. And if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you subscribe, like, follow the channel, whatever you want to call it, for whatever the platform is. So you get notified every time we got something coming up. We're always doing something every week out here. So come on out and join us. And every day we're putting out fun, interesting content and just having a good time.
We greatly appreciate it. Oh my God, Sean's got like the Canadian flags in his khakis.
He always pushed the umbrella with it. He'd stick it in his nose, remember? Like he really, really pushed that stuff pretty bad.
I agree.
I did some work at a local indie promotion where I did play-by-play, ring announcing, etc. Had to tap into the pulse of the crowd to keep them interested, even as play-by-play or a ring announcer, etc. Absolutely. That must have been a fun experience, Lawrence.
Because like the thing is that the announcers, they are the soundtrack to the show.
Indeed.
So like they're vital to the show. So I mean, like that's an important job. I agree. So I respect Lawrence like for doing that because John, which I don't know whether we can do that or not. I mean, like that's a hard job.
You know, it's funny with announcers. Announcers are probably one of, if not the most important elements of a show, right?
Yes.
Because the wrestlers are coming out and, you know, big time stars are getting 15, 20 minutes, maybe a little bit more on a show.
Yeah.
Everybody else is trying to get their stuff in 10 minutes or less usually, and whatever that they have them booked on. The announcers are out there all show. They're your make or break. If you got good announcers and people that do good play-by-play, make their matches even more interesting than they really are sometimes, putting the talent over, you know, helping solidify their roles, what you want them to be looked at as a heel or a babyface. Announcers are probably the most important part of the live shows for television.
Oh yeah, like without a shadow of a doubt. And that's why, like in my opinion, Jim Ross was the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Jim knew his stuff.
He did such a good job.
The Adam Cole Devil shirt is that Cole is wearing is made nicely. It's the Two-Face design. Yeah, I saw that today. It looks nice. Daniel says there were no restrictions for Shawn. He knew Daddy Vince would never do anything to him. Adam said it's funny because he tweeted all that out under the ad-free thing. Well, at the same time, Shivani has his show under ad-free conflict of interest. Nick's probably been fired by now. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be working with him again, Adam, after that one. He got a lot of shit for what he did.
And you know, like a Conrad, he's a smart businessman, and he's going to cut ties with anybody that,
he's going to stir up a little controversy, but he's a businessman, and he runs multiple businesses and owns all of his own stuff and sales and everything. He knows that he's got to appease the customers too. And if you're bringing too much negative publicity, definitely not a good thing. And it's not like Nick Houseman's some big name that you're going to want to keep. Now, if that's like your main attraction on your network, like, you know, Bischoff or Shivani or whatever he's got
Mhm.
on there now. Like they're going to get a lot more leniency than some dick from a dirt sheet.
Well, because Shabani and Bischoff, they're making him a lot of money. So yeah, and the thing is that but yeah, which I think that if frickin' Conrad were to see him, let's say there were 5 people that they unsubscribed because of him. I think for 5 people, frickin' Conrad's gonna be like, okay, like you're done. I think he's that.
Who knows?
He runs that tight of a ship. Oh my God, who is that?
A very hideous creature. Listen
How's
to this
the
guy
crowd,
talk.
by the way?
Look at that mustache on this guy. Wow. Bro, the face paint on this character. Look at this guy, too.
Good Lord. How is
Boy, this guy wasn't getting laid on this night with that mask he's walking to in the wrestling. He wasn't picking up any chicks like that. That dude's part of the jerk off club. He's still like a 50-year-old virgin now.
That's so radical of you. Come on, don't you say that.
I'll say this though, the visual pictures that they're showing here, the visuals of Halifax, it looks like a really beautiful area.
It is. We could go up there. We can we can go moose tipping. Okay, I mean you talk about. I mean we got cow tipping. No, dude, like we're gonna do moose tipping while we're up there.
I have to be a Ric Flair fan tonight. I'm hoping he slaps the snot out of Don Callis.
Oh yes,
a very hideous creature, Jim Powers.
Whoa! Don't you dare disrespect.
Hey guys, this is Jim Powers. Want a bar mitzvah? Shout out, give me a call. I'm your guy.
Once your daughter has her first period, I will gladly congratulate her.
When your kids graduate from high school, just come on over to Uncle Jim. We'll drink a case of Jenny, and I'll give you all the shout-outs you want.
If you're getting out of jail from beating your wife, let me know. Jim. I'll congratulate you.
Congratulate me whenever I start mine?
Yes.
Adam says, I like the Raw episode when Shawn was in Canada for the first time ever, several years after Montreal, when he teased Bret Hart coming out, the loudest pop ever. They never forgave Shawn Michaels in Canada, did they, Chris?
No.
Yeah, they never fully, to this day, I don't think fully forgave him.
But they forgave Jim Powers.
You'd have to know who he was to forgive him.
Come on.
I'm sorry. This commercial is the worst right here with this guy. Is this a Stridex commercial or a Super Soaker? What is this?
This is for the $1 million challenge.
Okay, for the $1 million chance. What a terrible one right there. Once you have your 4 clues, send the correct entry form into your WWF SummerSlam $1 million change, P.O. Box 1429, where Carmel, Indiana.
Which I wonder if anybody literally would watch.
Bro, people sent things in for that at the time. You know that they did. Think of if your job was really, I'm under no illusion right now that they actually read this shit from people. They just grabbed a couple out of a thing and saw, whose name it was and picked out the name they wanted the most.
Oh, yeah,
there was really people writing in at that time. Kristen was doing that type of shit, thinking they were going to get selected.
This was before email was very prevalent.
Yeah, 100%, 110%. Hey, Chris, take the reins for just a minute here, okay?
All right, brother.
All right, I'll be right back.
Do you gotta go poop?
No poop, but my dogs are scratching at the door to go out and go poop, so I'm gonna let them out real fast.
All right, have fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We got Hunter Hearst Helmsley with Chyna. I think he's going to face the Patriot. It's going to be a fun match. I think the Patriot's going to be so patriotic that Hunter Hearst Helmsley can't stand it. He's going to be forced to submit. He is forced to submit. Here we go. And yeah, I can't believe I'm admitting this, but you guys know this from previous episodes, like the individuals that don't know this. but like the feud that really got me into really liking wrestling and becoming hooked was in September of 1997, and the feud between the Patriot and Bret Hart. And that's what really got me hooked on watching it every single week. So, yeah. Hold on. Daniel said that Chyna alone, she could beat the Patriot. I agree. Chyna is a badass. All right, so like we got Hunter, like he's throwing the Patriot into the corner, kicked in the face. The Patriot at this time wasn't really at 100%. I respect the guy, but never got into the Patriot at all. Well, for me, I got to say this. The Patriot is weird, but I really liked him. I was not, hold on. So like it was in 97. So like I was 9 years old at the time. And just like the Patriot Bret Hart feud, it just really got me into it. And I remember the first ever pay-per-view through like the Scramble Vision that I watched. It was the Ground Zero pay-per-view where Bret faced the Patriot, and I was hoping so badly that the Patriot would beat Bret Hart. So like guys remember like the Scramble pay-per-view channels back in the day where like you would see like little glimpses of the screen and all that. Man, yeah, that was me. What's one of your favorite matches that the Patriots time in the mid 90s? I'll be honest with you, Adam. I loved like his matches with Bret Hart. I liked his feud like with the Dark Patriot. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look into it. It was in the was it the UWF? No, Global. It was in the Global Wrestling Federation. Because like the feud here with Bret Hart, it made me go back and go look at the stuff with like Patriot and Global. And yeah. All right, so that's quite an interesting feud between the Hitman and the Patriot, USA versus Canada. I agree 1,000%. Also, I like the Hitman versus Mountie feud back in the day. Oh man, like the Mountie is fantastic. Lawrence, me and John, we put the Mountie over all day, every day. We love the Mountie. The Scramble pay-per-view channels were something to be made of legend. I agree 1,000%. And the Hitman had a long list of classic feuds and matches. Oh yeah, many people like they widely consider Bret Hart the greatest of all time, and it's hard for me to argue that. I would say, like my favorite of all time is Chris Jericho, but which I would say like 1A and like 1B. So like 1B for me like would be Bret Hart. When did Hogan come out as the Patriot? Oh yeah, Mr. America. That was in 2003, I believe. This was right after his feud with Vince McMahon. And then he supposedly got fired. So he came back as Mr. America. It was him and Zach Gowen. He was feuding with Roddy Piper, Vince McMahon, and one of like the things that I remember the most, like with the Mr. America gimmick, was the lie detector segment with him on SmackDown. And also speaking of Sean O'Haire, that reminded me of Sean O'Haire. You talk about somebody that had so much potential that wasn't booked like $1 million like they should have been. Sean O'Haire, definitely. Just imagine, guys, he could have easily been like a future world champion. Like the guy had it all. A phenomenal look, great skill set, decent promo. Just it's sad. So all right, Mr. America was the best with Vince, with the Vince lie detector. I agree 1,000%. And then, which I like the Patriot and World Championship Wrestling when him and Buff were a team. I agree 1,000%. Like the Patriots work and World Championship Wrestling is great, but yeah, it was absolutely the Patriot. He was a guilty pleasure of mine, and he was actually one of the reasons why I fell in love with the business full time. So I will admit that. Me and John were supposed to do a sit down with the Patriot, and we had it literally set up, but literally about like a week or two before we were going to sit down and look at the Patriot, which unfortunately Del Wilkes he passed away. So, but we do have a tribute to Del Wilkes on our page. Okay. Sean O'Hare was one of my go-tos in the SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. Yes, awesome video game. I think Mick
Foley underestimated. People thought he was a garbage wrestler, but he was a full package. I like Mick as a wrestler. I think he was good.
And Lawrence, like if you listen to our show this weekend, you will hear us put Mick over like $1 million because of his work that he did at the Rumble. Outstanding.
Sean O'Hare had a great look, didn't he, Chris?
Oh yeah. Which I was just saying that Sean O'Hare, like in my opinion, was one of the greatest misses in the history of the business because the guy had the look, he had the skill set, the guy was a good promo, and just swing and a miss. Which I would put him up there with Damian Sandow. I would put him and Mr. Kennedy as the biggest misses in the history of the business.
Interesting.
Yes. Do you think I'm nuts for putting Damian Sandow up there?
I don't know if he's one of the biggest misses ever, but I think he was a miss. I don't know about one of the biggest ever. I don't know about O'Hare is one of the biggest ones ever, but they definitely, I think, were misses that they could have done stuff with them. I just, I don't know if they were massive, misses or anything.
What about Mr. Kennedy? Do you think that they should? I was
never a huge fan of his. He was good on the mic, but I was never a big fan of Kennedy. That's just me, though.
I guess
he was good though. I know you are a huge fan of him.
Oh God, Daniel, whatever. Me and Daniel went to that show last year. We got the opportunity to meet him, and just that was so cool. Really nice guy. Awesome live, dude. Like the psychology, like with Kennedy and all that stuff. But he has his own wrestling school. I think he would have the potential to be up there with like a Dustin Rhodes or an Al Snow for being like a trainer. Like the guy is phenomenal with the psychology of the business.
I think he's had a lot of personal demons, which I think has gotten his way, but that's my opinion.
I agree. No, you're right.
Speculation, just not anything concrete or anything, just my opinion.
Speculation, baby, if you will.
The Nation's coming out right now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Faarooq and Kama Mustafa.
The
Rock's pretty close to joining the Nation when we have that time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's coming up pretty soon, right?
Yes, he is. Because like the thing is that like the Rock floundering as a baby face. Whenever you got fans saying "Die Rocky Die," then there's a problem, and you're a baby face.
Yeah, they definitely had some fun with him when he first started. They got Darby Allin and Sting going against Hobbs and Takashita now on AEW, and they're brawling in the crowd. It's amazing to think that Sting's career is coming to an end here in 2 months.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm tempted to have us order the pay-per-view and do like a watch along to Sting's last match.
I'm not gonna. No, maybe I'll be around for that one, March 3rd. I might be around for it because I'm leaving the week after, I think. But,
okay.
Yeah, I think I'm leaving the week after. But yeah, I'll watch it if it's on. 15,000 tickets sold for Sting's last match. I'm probably spending 50 for that one. I would agree. I would if I'm around. I don't mind watching it for sure. I think that would be a good idea. I'd like to compare Mick Foley to the likes of Terry Funk, Dusty Rhodes as well for personality. Yeah, absolutely, great personalities.
Just to let you guys know, me and John, we're gonna be doing we're gonna be doing a limited series show for the show The Wrestlers. So me and John, we're gonna be doing watch-alongs and we're gonna be giving our thoughts.
We had a great discussion about it on the show this weekend on the radio, so check it out. We'll talk about it there too. We think we almost got Papa Shango back instead of Kama. I'm maybe in the minority here, Daniel. I liked Papa Shango. I thought they could have done a lot more with that character.
I love Papa Shango, yes.
Kennedy played it off huge that night, entertaining as hell in his
Oh,
match.
good, dude. Like the match we saw with him, like the battle royal that he was in, he was outstanding, dude. He was the most over guy, and he was under the ring 90% of the match.
Gotcha.
He was that good.
Lorenz said, Mr. Kenny Anderson reminded me of The Rock meets a little Kurt Angle. All right. Interesting analogy. I wonder why they never did much with Steve Blackman, Adam DeMoy says.
We talked about him
on the radio show this weekend, too. So if you've never checked out our radio show, we'll post the links up on our Facebook here, Adam. And every Saturday and Sunday night, 9 to 10 o'clock, we do it, just strictly in audio. We actually had about a 5-minute conversation, I think, about Steve Blackman this week.
Steve MF and Blackman, okay? I'm just saying.
One of the baddest dudes, probably legit, that ever stepped foot in the ring there.
He's cold as ice.
I'm rolling into a bar with him and Haku, and I'm fucking starting with everybody. Everybody. I'm going in there and being the biggest dick in the world because I got those two with me. I'm not worried about anybody.
I don't blame
Those two would destroy that whole place.
They would.
I would have gone to Sting's last match, but the prices weren't worth it. And now with almost everything gone, I'm good on that. Yeah, you know, if you want to go see these, PLE shows for AEW or WWE, you're going to pay a pretty penny now to go.
Oh, yeah.
It is not cheap. If you're going to spend that type of money to go, you better make sure you really want to check out and see what's on that card and you're interested in it, in my opinion, unless you have just indispensable amounts of cash to do whatever you want with.
Yeah, we don't. We got families to take care of. So, yeah.
It's like we were talking about earlier with WrestleMania. I would have loved to have gone to Philly. Could I, the whole weekend, you're going to probably spend $4,000 or $5,000 if you go to all the shows, get tickets to both nights of WrestleMania, your expenses for the weekend. You're probably going to spend $5,000 or $6,000 out of your pocket to go. When I look at it, when I thought about it, could I afford that and do I have it? Absolutely. But could I justify that in my mind? No. Like, I'll spend that to go on one of my trips every year, like no problem, but that's a totally different experience. I couldn't imagine paying that type of money unless I'm loaded to go to a show.
Brother, like the only time I'm doing that is if I'm taking the family to Disney World.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Spending
$5,000-$6,000. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy going to cost you that amount for the weekend, bro.
Oh, yeah. And it's
you're going to go there, you're going to want merch and stuff too, because fans are going there for things. You got being in the arena 4 or 5 hours a night that you're in there. People are getting refreshments for crazy prices. I mean, you're spending money. There are hotels for some people, airfare. I wouldn't have to have airfare. I live right near Philadelphia, but it's an expense for people. Screwball finish here. DQ. Goldust gets the win by DQ.
Come on.
Yeah, I heard this about Blackman slapping JBL at an airport, running his mouth. I've heard that one. It's a great story. Let's see. Lorenz says Papa was a play-up of the Soul Taker character he did in Memphis. Could have done better. Booked in WWF. Yeah, the Soul Taker, I think, was one of his first gimmicks ever, if I remember. If not his first gimmick that he did. I'm rolling in, daring someone to call him Head Cheese.
No.
This is why I don't go to a lot of mainstream tours here in Australia. It's just not worth the cost for what you get. And like back in the day where they had better shows and better wrestling. Yeah, absolutely, Lorenz.
I agree.
You want to get fans out. And if you're not one of these like diehard fans that like live, eat, breathe, and sleep everything to go to the shows, because there's some that do that. If that's what they like, great. But for the rest of us average people in life, the middle class, the upper middle class types that we all are, shit, you don't have $5,000-$6,000 to just be dumping for no reason for a weekend.
Hey.
And if you do, and you're just dumping $5,000 or $6,000, that's about barely all you got. It's probably not a smart move.
It's so nice because like the first time in my life, which I can call myself middle class. So like there
you go. Good. Yeah. There you go. Adam says used to see Sting in some of the Armory shows in the early 90s. Surfer Sting, love Surfer Sting, Adam. I didn't even go to a lot of local indies as they're not worth paying for. Yeah, some of the Flair's in the ring right now. Lord help us. Hopefully he doesn't have a heart attack.
John, which I gotta head off to work, man. I don't mean to shorthand you, but yeah, like my boss is calling me right now.
Yeah, go to work, buddy.
All right, brother.
I'll finish this out, okay?
All right. You guys have a good night.
All right, buddy. Be good.
All right, guys. Love you. Bye.
All right. Yeah, even the indie shows now, like Lawrence here in the United States or where I live, you go to an indie show, it's $25, $30 maybe for to go to get a front row ticket at an indie show, which I think is just an extremely crazy price for an indie show. But I guess it's better than the alternative. You want to get a front row ticket to a WWE house show, you're probably paying $300, $400, $500 too, unless you get a special deal. Got the Hart Foundation coming out now for this main event match. We got a triple threat match with Bret, Owen, and Davey Boy taking on Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, and the Dude Love. And the crowd is loving their hometown heroes, the local Canadians. He could barely get out of the ring. Good Lord, stay out of there, Rick. They're going all over the arena on this AEW show that I got in the background right now. Jesus, Darby just about died. I don't know how that guy hasn't killed himself yet doing some of the stuff. So Bret's calling for a different song here. Are we going to do a Canadian national anthem? Let's see. Yep, there it is. Bret isn't going on until he hears their national anthem. Good move for the hometown favorite right here to get even more love from the crowd and further solidify his hatred for America in this gimmick. Man, sad to think Bret Hart left the WWF a few months after this. Just sucks. I mean, it was a cool moment when he went to WCW, and then that was it because they just killed it to me. Let's see. I was just about to type that Darby is crazy. He is insane. 100%, Jeremy. I know what you mean here in Australia. Lots of the indie shows cost around $30, if not more, way too much. Yeah, for an indie show, it's just a wild price, Lawrence. It's hard to, for a lot of people to think to pay that much at an indie show. I remember going to them back in the day for $5 you'd get in, 10 tops. But hey, times change. Shawn Michaels hated Mick because he knew he was no longer the sexy boy when Dude was around. Oh, yeah, all the chicks were flocking to the Dude, Daniel. They were leaving Shawn Michaels 100%. Yeah, it's a shame they couldn't grow up and coexist, Daniel. I mean, there's always guilty parties and everything. And, Bret had his moments, too, where he was guilty and stuff. Shawn had his moments. Vince, of course, had his moments about being guilty. But they just could have put, the bullshit aside and stuck it around and could have done a lot better stuff. And hopefully would have turned things out differently for some of them. But you never do know. It's one of those what ifs. Sting through a table. Wow. Yeah. And that wasn't just a quick table drop or a short one. That was from a good 15, 20 feet up. Wow. I just saw the replay of that. Sting making sure his last run is live or die. He's going all out for the end of his career, wouldn't you say? Now we got the Dude coming out here. All right. Business is really picking up now that the Dude is here. What a great career Mick Foley has, we were talking about earlier. Look at all the championships he won when he went to WWF. And I know, of course, championship belts are just a prop and all that good stuff. But think about Mick, never got a mainstream title run at all in WCW or any of the other stuff he was doing. Always a great character, but goes to being a main eventer here in the WWF. Tag titles, world title multiple times. Mrs. Foley's baby boy had a hell of a story to his career. I don't think a lot of people ever would have saw the levels that he turned his career into. Dude goes over the top rope there. Owen and Davey back body dropped him over the top. Let's see. I'm surprised that no one capitalizes running at a loss before profit, where you run a wrestling show for old school prices, tap in the market where people want to see it in affordable wrestling. Yeah. I don't know how these indie shows make money, Lance. I'll be straight with you, because especially the ones when they bring in talent and they're bringing in like an old name, like a WCW name, a WWE, WWF, AEW, whatever, TNA. They're paying a little bit more money than they are to anybody else, of course, they come in. If you get a bigger name, they're going to cost you a pretty penny. So it's really hard to think when you bring one of these WWE guys or AEW ones or whatever, when they come in, you're probably paying them a couple $1,000 at least to come in for a show. If you're charging $25 and you're packing 500 people in there, you do the math for yourself. There's not a lot of money to be made. It's interesting. You got to have a passion for it if you want to be a promoter in the indie world. I can't imagine you're making a ton of money. He was only tag team champs in ECW and WCW. Then dude became his first title in WWF. Crazy to think. Who was he tag champs with in ECW and WCW, Daniel? I don't remember that. Who was his partner? I loved some of his tag team work in WCW with Abby. And then I think he did some stuff with Vader, which later turned into a big feud for him. I don't remember his title runs, though. Loved Cactus Jack, though, and his character in WCW. Loved it. They got the Young Bucks on the screen right now for AEW as their show is concluding for the night. And it looks like they want a match with Sting and Darby. I guess that's where they're going with that. Okay. I guess that's the ending to that show tonight. Not wrong regarding how indies are making money in indie wrestling. Yeah, I don't know how the wrestlers make any real money doing it either. Sting's last match is Sting and Darby versus the Bucks. Okay, I got it muted, so I can only see the subtitles here and there as I'm looking up. Last match is him and Darby versus the Bucks. He's going to go all out for that one, I bet. Tag champs with Whipwreck and ECW. Okay. And Max Payne, I believe, in WCW. Wow. All right. I remember that. Max Payne. What a character. We watched him on Battle Bowl Lethal Lottery a few weeks back. Definitely didn't really get over with the crowd, I would say. Undertaker's grabbing Owen up for the choke slam. Boom. Sean stiffed him, so the Undertaker's coming in helping out here. I like that. You know, you got your champion here being the Undertaker, and they're going to set up this match with Bret coming up. Think about this. He's been just an afterthought on this show, and he's the world heavyweight champion. That's why we say this was one of the worst title runs in WWF history, in our opinion. A lot of times we've said that. It just didn't resonate here for the Undertaker. He was just an afterthought. Wasn't on this show at all, and he's the world champ. Austin, Michaels, Mick Foley, Hart Foundation, they're the ones controlling this show. Champ is just an afterthought. Hence why they're going to do the switch here soon. Daniel says, I do the Bucks versus Sting and Darby before they do Sting and Darby at a pay-per-view. I don't disagree with that. I wanted to see Sting and Darby for his last match. That summed up his whole 97 title run and afterthought. It really was. It's one of the most forgettable title runs ever. And then when you go back and watch it like we've been watching for the last few months with it, it just doesn't work. Crowd just doesn't care about him, really. Now, of course, he goes on and already had a legendary career up to this point, but he goes on to even greater successes throughout his career and being, in many people's opinion, the greatest ever and as an overall performer. But it worked out well for him. He found his way to always stay relevant and over with the fans. Sometimes it just doesn't work in at the right time, though. Doesn't mean that you can't get it hot later on again. It's interesting to see, though, Mick and Undertaker with their storied history teaming up here in this six-man match with Austin, especially going back and thinking about all the crazy matches Mick and Undertaker had up until this point. One of the best feuds of Undertaker's career, probably in my opinion, Mick's best feud ever, was with the Undertaker. What do you guys think? Just think, SummerSlam 97 even was about a Bret and HBK. Then it's like, oh, here's Taker. Yep, absolutely, Daniel. I look at championship belts in wrestling, like wrestling itself. It can mean something if you have respect for the art. Wrestlers should carry the belt with pride. Wrestle with pride. Respect the art of it. Kayfabe, etc. Hey, absolutely, Lawrence. I respect that opinion. No doubt. This is just a different breed, though, of wrestlers, now than when you saw back in the day where we all grew up watching this stuff. It's a different generation and different worlds. Times sure change, folks. Sometimes it's good, sometimes not so much, but times sure do change. I agree about Mick. I'd put Mick on Taker's second, only behind Kane. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going to, Daniel. That's where I agree. For Taker, I think Kane's probably his biggest feud and his most noteworthy one. And Mick, for Mick, it was definitely Taker. Undertaker feuds for Jeremy. One of his favorites was with Yokozuna. That was a fun feud. Good point, Jeremy. Went on for a little bit. They had that casket match or something, I think, like that at like Survivor Series. I think Chuck Norris was the special enforcer or something like that. But they had a pretty good run together. Yoko was a lot of fun to watch. He was a lot of fun to watch. It's a shame how things got so out of control for his weight and his lifestyle. And God bless him and God rest his soul. People speak very highly of him. Owen and Mick are having a little mat wrestling here, and Owen's pounding on the dude. They got the flags hanging up here too, folks. They got the U.S. flag on one side and the Canadian on the other. Mick tags in Austin now. These guys are about to have their SummerSlam match, as we talked about earlier, here upcoming in a few weeks. I think they're about a month out, 3-4 weeks out from SummerSlam at this point. What are you guys' thoughts on SummerSlam? How many of you guys are big marks and fans of SummerSlam? It's never been my favorite card of the year for WWE. I'll say that for me. I get it's one of their big four, but never been one of my favorites. It's probably, in my opinion, it's my number out of the four big WWE events, Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. I think it's my least favorite one, but that's just me. That's just me. My number one is Royal Rumble, then Mania, and then Survivor Series, and then SummerSlam. That's for me. Where do you guys rank yours? Yeah, Yoko sold things so good, Daniel. Very good point. How dare Owen pound on the dude? I do not support that nugget. They had a casket match, one at a Royal Rumble and then Survivor Series the same year when he changed to the purple gloves. Didn't he lose the one in the Rumble, Jeremy? And they did that whole thing where they had like a camera in there with him. And then when he came back later on, they did it again. I think that's how it went, right? Wrestling should follow the acting world of projects where good method actors get in the role, bring it to life. That is how wrestling should be with kayfabe. Unfortunately, the art is dying. I think it's dead, Lawrence. I think it's long dead. The art of kayfabe, of course. I used to love SummerSlam in the 80s and 90s, then it died off after for me. Yeah, those were my favorite moments for it too. Daniel was the early 90s and then late 80s was good, but early 90s was my favorite time frame for SummerSlam. Yeah, he lost the Rumble. Okay, that's why I thought Taker lost that one. So once again, this is a flag match. You got to climb the pole to get your team's flag to win, and then you can wave your flag proud. I get the point of a flag match, but I'm not a fan of all these things on a pole. It's just ridiculous. But look who was writing it at the time. He had a fascination with putting shit on a pole. That came way later on in large doses in WCW, of course, but you can see the writing on the wall who was putting this together at the time. The dude and Owen are in the ring right now. They've been kind of the workhorses for this match. Bret, for people that forget, Bret was still recovering from a knee injury and knee surgery. He came back just about, I think, 6 weeks after his knee surgery. He had some arthroscopic surgery done, I think a couple other small things. So Bret was very limited at this time on what he could do in the ring. So I think they were really kind of trying to save him just to give him a little bit more time to heal up, get him in there, a couple of times, do a few moves for a couple minutes. But Bret Hart was battling some pretty serious knee problems at this point. That was giving him a lot of problems. So of course, they're going to rely on a guy like Owen, who's definitely the best worker right there. Bret's not in there. Bret's the best worker out of everybody in the ring, in my opinion, probably the best worker ever. But if you're going to find somebody else to help take over for your best worker because he's not feeling good, I'm going with Owen. Austin's selling this great right now as Bret's in there cleaning house. Where'd you guys rank Bret and Austin up for their greatest feuds? Do you think that they're the greatest feud for one another? Love Russo's pole gimmick matches. It's very rare that I truly enjoy a SummerSlam. Let's see. I'm only 37, but still probably becoming too much of an old fart about things. Welcome to the club, Lawrence. We all are. We're all crotchety old farts here, I think. Jeremy's going with WrestleMania, Survivor Series, Rumble, and then SummerSlam. Survivor Series is gaining ground again for me because it's War Games now. I do like the inclusion of the War Games the way they did it this year. I thought it was cool. So I love the traditional matches too, but I thought they did really good with it. Daniel says, went to SummerSlam 2019. It was fun, but not great at all. I still can't get over the Judy Bagwell in a pole match. We will never forget that match for anybody that was watching at that point, for sure, Lawrence. Love how Bret cried about conspiracy theories as a character. Barely had to do anything in the summer due to the injury and didn't get a world title match. Love it. Yep. They definitely, put Bret over a lot. That's for sure. And he wasn't working a lot at this time to get through the injury. So they were definitely accommodating him. Undertaker rises up now. And is he going to go for the flag or is he going to go for the tag? Let's see. All right. Daniel says, Rock was my favorite for Austin feud and probably Owen for Bret for me. Okay. That's a tough one. I'm going to say Hitman Austin is probably the best match that they had. Okay. I think for me, I'd have to go with, for Bret, his biggest feud of all time. I think for me, his best one and his biggest one. I'm probably going to have to go with, I'm going to have to go with probably, it's hard for me to choose between these two, but I'm going to go with Austin for Bret, then probably Shawn Michaels. Austin, that's a hard one. But I'd probably go with The Rock for Austin. It's his greatest feud of all time. Actually, let me take that back. Vince McMahon is his greatest feud of all time. Bret wins it for the Canadian fans, and he's waving the Canadian flag loud and proud to show everybody. Pillman is in the he's in the crowd there and made the distraction so the Undertaker would not grab the flag. And the Hart Foundation picks up the victory and is waving their flag all around. The Canadian fans are loving it, and they're leaving with a smile on their face. All right, well, good main event. I'll give my final thoughts as I get out of here. Good main event for sure. Dalton Edwards, God loves you all. Well, thank you, Dalton. God loves you too. All right. Sean will be humping the flag in 4 months. Don't worry about it, Bret. And let's see. He loves us all. Yes, yes. He loves you too, Dalton. Awesome stuff. Royal Rumble, greatest live event I've ever attended. The first time Edge won. Feud with Jericho, Sheamus, Orton. Great match. Awesome to see you got to see a live Rumble. I would love to see one of them. And Lorenz said, love Austin knocking Vince. Some of the moments where Austin got Vince. Boy, they had a great feud for sure. Now, this show, I thought it was a pretty good show. It dragged for a little bit after the opening match for me. And they had some good segments and not so good ones. I thought it was on the downward slide to being a thumbs down. I'm going to give it in the middle on this one tonight. There were some good moments and some not so good moments to Raw tonight. I really don't like this gang warfare stuff. I'm just not a fan of it. So I'm glad it's not going to be with us too much longer because it's just doesn't do it for me. I don't really like it, but they were trying something new at this time. It just was probably my least favorite part of the show, but I'd give this show an in the middle. It wasn't the worst, but it definitely wasn't great. So that's my final thought. Well, we'll be back on the radio show. So see exactly the link where we're at. WDJY is the radio station. You can find the link on our Facebook page every Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 10. Come out, check out the show, and have a good listen with us. We always have some fun conversations on there. You can check it out right online, if you don't live in that area, so it's no worries. And we do that every Saturday and Sunday night. We try to get up here every Monday night. Chris has had a lot going on and is having some health issues for a little bit, so the last couple of weeks we haven't been able to get out as much on Monday nights, but we are going to work our hardest to get back on rotation here for the next couple months on Monday nights. But it's been a pleasure, everybody. Thanks for coming out and checking this out live later on whenever you did. Good night, Jeremy. Thank you for coming out. Remember, we all love wrestling and we all hate Alabama football. Absolutely. Rant, it's been a pleasure. I don't mind the gang warfare idea, but could have been booked better for sure. All right, everybody. We'll catch you again soon on the show. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Retro Wrestling Revival. We'll catch you again soon. Be safe, be well, have a great night, and catch you soon.